here with more Elvine. Last we left off, we met some ghosts. Oh, shit. That is not what I wanted. Fucking load. Yeah. Motherfucker. That was not what I wanted. Oh, right, I pressed quick save here. Save, Q load, crafts. Aha! Load game. That one. Yeah. I'm getting the hang of this eventually. Sobs. My father found my Justin. I was about to enter my room. He began to tell me about our food situation. Dear Elvine, I feel as every time we meet as of late, it is only to deliver bad news to you. Well, this, I fear, will not change that. I have taken inventory of our food items, and it seems we have enough to last us three for about a month. After that runs out, we will have to begin to find food from elsewhere. That's not such bad news, Father. I'm sure in a month the humans will have forgotten all about us, and we can safely go out into the woods again. Surely we will find food. Surely we'll find food, okay. Oh, sweet Elvine, your optimism is a breath of fresh air. I truly must apologize to you. I was such in a horrid state of mind the other day, and I do believe I said some terrible things to you. Let us forget the other day ever happened, and live on with the lives we have left. Oh, Father! I felt that he was being uncharacteristically callous yesterday. But I wanted to put that all behind us, because no matter what, I would be living here with him for the rest of my life. However long that may be. Oh, I'd almost forgotten. Elvine, I need to talk to you about something. When don't you? I don't know if you had thought about this in detail, but, well, we are the last Dragonkin, are we not? Yes, I do believe so. After we passed this whole Dragonkin hunting and Dragonlord incident... After we pass... No, there's a comma there. After we pass, this whole Dragonkin hunting and Dragonlord incident will finally be at rest. Yes, it will be. At the very least, we can see that peace will be coming with our passing. You believe it as well, then? That things will turn out better once it's all over? Of course. There has been so much hatred and angst from both sides. We Dragonkin have done our share of killing humans. I do believe that even the humans will be relieved that no more of their loved ones will be killed hunting our race. How very perceptive. Yes, I did think that as well. Now, Elvine, please do let us be the last. Well, Father, I'm not sure if that is a question or not, but we will be the last. Elvine, I think you might have missed what I was getting at. I do not mean to be blunt, but, let us not have another Dragonkin born upon the world. Hint. Wait, was Father telling me what I think he was telling me? Father? Yes, well, birds and bees, Twitter-pated, don't do any of that, okay? Dad! He was now blushing. He was talking about that! Yes, I know Lucas seems like a nice guy, and I heard back in the village that quite a number of women were enamored with him, but you must resist. Father! This wasn't happening. I could hardly say anything back to him due to how fiercely I was blushing. This was my father, the most strict man I knew. He hated magic, soldiers, and even scoffed at unmarried women who batted their eyelashes at men in public. Was this man truly trying to have a sex talk with me? I am only saying that it could be considered natural if the two of you would find comfort in each other's presence, and as such... Earth, please open up and swallow me whole! Father, please! I've only just met Lucas, and you believe that I'll go with him for what exactly? Comfort? And somehow from this comfort, a child will happen. Well, I was implying that he might comfort you in a more, well, physical manner. Oh my God, up above! If you hear my village over this new form of torture! Elvine, please, I'm trying to have a serious conversation with you. You are telling me not to have sexual relations with a man that I've only met just 24 hours before! Ago! Words! I'm flustered, Dad! I do not think this is such a serious conversation. Now, before you start again with your talk of magically comforting genitalia, I'm going to go search for the room for candles. It was the only excuse I could think of to get me out of that room. How embarrassing! As I was searching all the rooms I came to, looking for anything that would lighten my dark room, I happened to stop in front of Lucas's room. He had fallen asleep as soon as I cast that spell, and had yet to awaken. I hope he's okay. All of a sudden, my father's conversation came back to me, and I blushed beet red. Quickly, I fled, which only made me feel even more silly. What am I doing? It's not like I was doing anything wrong. Figuring that I was had to get my mind off the subject, I decided to look a little further away for candles. Where should I look? Oh boy! Here is the big deciding factor of which end you're going to be getting. I know which one's the which, but I'm going to go for the one I have not seen yet. So this will be an adventure for you and I. Throne room, let's go. There was so much stuff in the throne room that you're bound to have at least one candle. I made my way to the throne room. Hello? I poked my head in. I didn't see Bryant anywhere. Yeah, I should say first. Right. 2. Nice. I was about to leave when I spotted a couple candles sitting on a table at the far end of the room. I walked over, picked them up, and began to walk back out. Well, now the Lady Tyrant has dropped herself to thievery, has she? I spun around. Hello. There was Bryant. There was Bryant sitting on the throne. Why hadn't I seen him sooner? Oh, I do that. I just kind of puff into existence. Hello, Bryant. I was just, You see, I was hoping to borrow some candles. Borrowing usually entails first asking the owner of said object. What you're doing looks more like stealing than borrowing. Well, you see, I was planning on asking you, but you weren't around. Well, here I am. Now go on, ask me if you could borrow those candles. Are you joking? They're just candles. Besides, what can you even use these candles for anyway? If you want me to be nicer, perhaps you should first set a proper example. I scoffed. Well, okay. If he wanted a nice role model, then I would give him one. Oh, Sir Bryant, sir! I gave a deep curtsy here. Oh, gallant, handsome, brave Sir Bryant! Please do grant me the honor of speaking with you. Yes, alright. Go on. I was just wondering, oh, Sir Bryant, if you would allow me the honor of borrowing these simple candles here. No. What? Did you not hear me? No. But wait a minute. You said you were going to be nicer. I was being all nice, and then you were supposed to give me the candles. What use are these candles to you anyway? Why, it doesn't matter. Why do you need those candles so badly? So I can see in the dark, dipshit. Well, Sir Bryant, I'm currently running out of these candles back in my room, and it gets awfully dark at night. It makes it difficult to read or really do anything past sunset. Oh. It seems like you wanted to say something, but couldn't. But, I don't want to give you these candles because that I might have an accident, that I might hurt myself. Ugh, I can't say this. This is what I get for trying to be nicer. You don't want to lend me the candles. Yes, because I'm being nice. That's what you wanted to be, right? I got dokies. I got some dokies, deal with it. I don't know how to feel about these jokies. My cheeks are as red as your hair, which is a beautiful fire red. I mean... Shut up. I'm being nice. I am a soon piece of shit. He was blushing. Was it really that hard for him to be nice? I appreciate your concern, Sir Bryant, but perhaps you worry too much about me. They are simply candles. There's no harm in them. Ugh. Well, fine. Take them. But at least be wary of them. Although they be small, candles can be dangerous in large numbers. Have you ever been in a situation there was an accident with candles? It seems as if you're speaking from experience here. It was not the candles. It was more fire, and yes, there was an accident. I wonder if Bryant had been burned to death. I decided not to pester him anymore on the subject. He looked visibly distraught. Well, I should get going. I headed back to my room. Day 6. 6 days had already passed since we arrived here at Hopsislaus. Lucas had finally woken up on the 4th day, and even joined my father and I for dinner. Unfortunately, he was having trouble walking. I was hoping that was just a temporary result of the magic spell and nothing permanent. Lady Elvine! Hi! I looked up from the bag of rice I was holding. I currently was in the kitchen taking stock of our remaining food. Lucas, there's no reason to continue calling Father and I Sir and Lady. We're equals here. Sorry, I suppose old habits die hard. Well, I'm glad to see you are well enough to get out of bed. Lucas had only been able to get out of bed today. He was using a stick my father had found for him as a makeshift crutch. I could tell when Lucas was walking somewhere, I could hear the sound of his crutch steadily crashing against the stone floor as he made his way along. I'm sure it had taken at least 15 minutes to get from his room to the pantry. I felt like I slept for such a long time. It's like that night that the village was a millennia. I can't speak either. It was a millennia ago. I think it would be best for all of us if we could just move on from that event. Especially you, you're still recovering. The first step to a healthy body is a healthy heart, right? I handed him an apple. It keeps the doctor away and stuff. And what she means by that is it would be wise to do mental meditation as you are recovering. Perhaps you could pray for a peaceful end of the Dragonkin clan. Father! He was supposed to be outside looking for firewood. What is he doing here? I heard the sound of 2 teenagers possibly fucking. And here I see him. Dad! Of course, sir. I believe that Elvine had said that formalities were no longer needed. How long had he been eavesdropping on us? Of course, Patriarch. I'm sure that long walk down here to the kitchen has tired you out. Why don't you rest yourself in the adjacent room and enjoy your apple? I feel like he's threatening me, Elvine. He kinda is. My father seemed to push Lucas out of the pantry. I thought you had gone out to get firewood. I was, but when I heard Lucas heading to the pantry, I decided against it. Dad, I fucking knew it! Watch your fucking language. Father, is there something about Lucas you're not telling me? You asked me not to have relations with him, and now it seems like I cannot even speak to him alone? To be frank, Elvine, I don't trust him. I'm not sure why it was he who found me on the battlefield and helped me escape. Have you not thought of why he didn't stay to fight to the death? He's a soldier, isn't he? I cannot begin to understand such cretin's thoughts. Cretin, whatever. But I was under the impression that to turn tail and run was the worst disgrace to a soldier could face. And why does that mean I can't even talk to the man? He might be a coward to you, but that doesn't make him a murderer. Except that he is, Elvine. He's killed tons of humans, and I don't want you associating with him, all right? I clenched my teeth. I do not share my father's views of the soldiers. I have an itchy nose. He saved your life, Father. At least be grateful to him for that. I knew my father would have replied to that, but I walked out on him. Fuck him! I did not want to talk to him at the moment. Ever since we escaped our village, I found myself arguing with my father more and more. He'd always been very religious and pessimistic, but ever since we discovered we were the last dragonkin, my father had turned fatalistic. And living with a fatalistic man in an abandoned castle for a substantial amount of time would wear on anyone's nerves. I stopped myself. I was in the middle of the hallway and did not know what to do next. I could see Lucas sitting out on the balcony eating his apple. Did I want to stop to talk to him? I feel like that's a good thing to do. Move on. I decided that I had antagonized my father enough for one day. I didn't dare approach Lucas again. I decided to go for a walk around the castle. My thoughts of my father's conversation spun around in my head. Before I realized it, I was standing in front of the throne room. I decided to go in. I knew it! Oh, hello. I wasn't expecting your company today. There was Bryant, once again sitting in his throne. Oh, hello. I didn't have the energy to bicker with him today. Are you alright? Seems you have something on your mind. He walked over to me. Well, more like he glided over. Same thing. Was he honestly worried about me? Oh, it's nothing. It's just my father. Recently, I find myself disagreeing with everything he says. And again, he's an asshole, so... Isn't that just part of growing up? I know, I had all-out fights with my father over issues. Those never ended cleanly. Here I go talking about myself again. That's not a way to be nice. So, do you want to talk about it? What did your father and you spat about? Oh, he just has these ingrained prejudices, and I just can't find myself agreeing with him. I stopped for a moment. I wasn't sure Bryant was the best person to talk about prejudice with. I remembered his reaction to discovering I was dragonkin. Such as... a friend of mine. He's a soldier. My father detests all dragonkin soldiers, saying that they're betraying the will of God by killing humans. Well, I was under the impression that dragonkin were betraying the will of God by simply existing. I glared at him for a moment. Do you not think we know that? Do you honestly even understand what it's like to be born a dragonkin? To know that the very God that made you detests you the moment you were born? And that your parents looked at you the same way? We did not ask for this! We live our own entire lives trying to repent! His comment made me so angry. But no! No, the only way to repent for what was done 100 years ago is to die! And what exactly do you think we've been trying to do these last 80 years? Everyone I know has been killed by humans, and you want me to be happy for them? To be happy that they have been forgiven and I'm here alone? I'm sorry. I scared him. I had meant to blow up on him, but his callous comment on the top of my father's conversation that aggravated me. Just rubbed me the wrong way, like rubbing a scrubby side of a sponge on an apple. There was an awkward silence between us. It seems I have a lot to learn about being nice. No, Sir Bryant, I must apologize. I have a lot to learn about how to conduct oneself in front of nobility. You don't have to. I'm hardly royalty anymore. I'm dead. Plus, I think it's time for me to learn how to interact with people as a normal person. Be they human or whatever you are. Dragon. Kin. I looked at him for a moment. Why? Why are you trying so hard to be nice? I've been stuck here in limbo for 80 years. My death was not a clean one. And I have been stuck here thinking about my actions that led up to that death. One day, sitting here over my actions, I came to the realization that I didn't really like who I'd become in the last years of my life. I was hoping for some way to atone for what I had done. And then you came in here, a dragonkin. And I knew that you were here for a reason. What does me being a dragonkin have to do with anything? I did terrible things to your race. And I believe that you are here now because I have to make it right what was wrong all those years ago. You're just asking me as a way to you're just using me as a way to redeem yourself? Dick. And here I thought he was being just nice, just to be a better person. I suppose that is what it sounds like, doesn't it? No. No, I want to learn to be a better person. Right. The conversation had soured. I began to leave. Wait! No! Come back! What? So you can listen to me whine and feel better about yourself? That's you're being such a nice person? That's not how it works, you know. You actually have to care about another person to atone for anything. Ugh. I truly would like to listen to what you have to say. Not out of some warped strive for kindness, but out of curiosity. I want to get to know you better, to see what has happened to the Dragonkin these last 80 years. I stood there. He was willing to listen to me, but I didn't know to what extent his curiosity was true. I sighed. You're lucky, you know that? I really don't feel like coming back home. I really don't feel like going back home right now. Fine, I'll stay. Oh, brilliant. He seemed relieved. I actually was wondering, what sort of government system do your dragonkin have today? Government system? What? It's just that, you see, the dragonkin were very ingrained in our politics. The Dragon Lord himself only was second to the Warrior King, you know, and they just about shared the throne between the two of them. But when one killed the other, everything just fell apart. I did not live to see what would become of their government, but I had always wondered what was happening within the Dragonclan clan. Did they reform a monarchy? Who did they elect to govern their troops? I have no idea what happened 80 years ago, but now we are split up into tiny little villages. Well, we were, before we were all killed. What do you mean? We're the only survivors. My father, the Dragonkin soldier, and myself. Oh. There was a pause. I couldn't tell if Bryant was happy or sad to hear that news. He just seemed expressionless. But, yes, we had no sort of monarchy or central government or whatever you were inferring. The most we had was a mayor of our village, which was my father. So I suppose that makes him the king of the Dragonkin. I'm not sure how that works. Well, if he is the last Dragon King in any sort of power, that would make him the king. And if your father is the king, then that means... He gave a large bow. Why, I must find myself in the presence of none other than the Dragonkin princess herself. It is an honor, my lady. I blushed. Lord Bryant, I am no princess. You are as much of a princess as I am a prince. A dead one, but still. Now, Princess Elvine, would you care to enjoy the dance? I couldn't tell if he was teasing me or not. I'm no dancer, I'm afraid. All right. Then perhaps we can simply chat. That to be shown in a moment is out of the way, and now I'm back to normal. Please, do tell me more about the Dragonkin and their customs. I do not wish to accidentally offend you again. Very well. We Dragonkin do have an odd sense of religion. It can be hard for humans to understand. Well, at least that was the impression I had gotten. What? Do you worship some sort of ancient Dragon King or something? No, we worship the same god you do, but in a different way. See, that god hates us, yet we pray to him anyway, hoping that in our actions we can prove to him that we are, in fact, salvageable. It seems that our actions themselves have been ineffective, though. All our race has all but gone but extinct. I was silent for a moment. It seemed to us that the only way to atone was to be killed by a human. It was what our many clergymen had told us. It was what God told them. And so many of our race gladly allowed themselves to be taken by the humans. I wonder when that train of thought arose. What do you mean? When I was alive, that was not the case. The Dragonkin were openly fighting back. They did not lay down at our swords. Well, that might have been what we believed and what we said in words. In actions, however, we are a cowardly race. We preach of salvation by humans, then turn tail and flee from their attacks. It was this that has always bothered me. Why no one else mentions this contradiction? That is curious indeed. So we live like that, running away yet asking for redemption. It is an odd life. Personally, I do not understand it. You do not agree with it? It is complicated. I do not want to die at the hands of humans. I do not think that would solve anything. I want to continue living, to run away. But my father and all my Dragonkin brethren have scorned me whenever I mention such thoughts. They scorn me, yet they do the same thing. Why are you running away? You have duties to attend to, do you not? What do you mean? I would be killed on the spot by humans if I didn't run away. I was not referring to the humans. You're running away from your father. You keep quiet and do not voice your opinions and let him continue to bully you into sharing his thoughts. I got ahead of myself again. I do not know what I'm saying. No. You're right. He is bullying me into sharing his thoughts. I just never thought about it that way. I saw my thoughts as sinful and could not explain them to myself clearly. You had seen something in a village that you thought was wrong. You wanted to fix these dangerous trains of thoughts, yet your father hindered you. You are a princess, and it is your duty to help your people. You should not run away from your position. You should stand up and protect your people, whether it be from enemy invaders or from them themselves. That is just advice from one ruler to another. I couldn't help but smile. I suppose you are right. I should stand up for myself more. Especially if I think I could help other people. I noticed the sun was beginning to set. I'm afraid I must go now. Well, it was fun discussing matters with you, Princess Elvine. I do hope we can meet again soon. I hope so as well. I took my leave. I was feeling much better than earlier. Somehow, talking to Bryant had reminded me how I was allowed to disagree with my father's opinions. That it was natural. And that my opinions were valid and were important. For one day my father would pass, and I would have to make up my own opinions. I felt I had a bit more strength in my step. I smiled. As I was walking out, a thought occurred to me. I'd be passing the library on the way back, and it had been some time since I'd seen Mary. I still had time before the sun completely set. I felt like I did not want to go back to face my father. I decided to visit Mary. I headed to the library. Mary? I cautiously called out her name. Yes. She was up in her usual spot, reading an intimidating book. From where I stood, it read the title, Microeconomies of Indigenous People. Now I think we'll have to stop it there because we're running out of time, so next time we're going to have to talk to Mary more. Hooray! That's good. So, let's go save here. So next time we get to talk to Mary and maybe learn shit. Yay! So, have a good day, everybody. Bye!